Hello, everyone. This is the Abundance Oracle. I have sort of a crazy thing to tell you. You know, Spain, when they ran out of electricity for a few days, I think it was. Well, when I first moved into my house here, it was November and I went to visit my daughter for Christmas. I came back. Now, Christmas, you know, there's snow. I came back to my brand new house with all the boxes in there because I just had to go visit. Oh, this is the Abundance Oracle. Please like and subscribe. Okay. So I had a tree right on the water that fell over onto my little front yard here and then hit another tree. So there were 4 trees that went down. First of all, when you just move, you don't have a lot of excess money for tree work. Second of all, the last tree hit my car, and it was a nice car at the time. I had a little BMW. Okay, I since have replaced it with a great little Honda that is, it's not the kind that I got when I had the kids, was a Honda Element, that boxy thing. It had plastic floors, plastic seats. It was the best car ever, never broke down. And you could wash it out. The ketchup, the French fries, everything washed out. It was so easy. Anyway, so I said, I'm going back to utilitarian. None of this fancy, schmancy stuff anymore. Okay, I'm going to share with you an idea. Because my electricity was off when I got back from Christmas. It was off for 5 days. I got back from the airport and I had to tromps over 2 trees to get to my front porch. Luckily, one of the things that I have, I bought a while back. You can see, because it's not all nice and clean and polished. It's been here forever. And I'm going to offer you an idea. And I have extra backup stuff, non-toxic. It's not gas. It's not, I don't know what it is. Lantern fuel, whatever that lantern fuel is. I have it in the basement. Okay. That one thing that I think back when cost me maybe $200 or $250 or something like that. For the rest of my life, I'm sorry, I'm trying to put you on my little holder. For the rest of my life will be in some location that if I ever get home again, I just have to take and find a match or a fireplace starter or something like that, and I will have light. That can be used inside, it can be used outside, and it's not like it has a little reserve. It has a larger reserve on the bottom. It's from the French Alps. You don't have to be so crazy like I am, but I just liked this one. It looked so cute. So you might want to consider something like that because Spain just had a huge electrical outage. Now, let me ask you, do you think that huge electrical outage could happen here? Could it happen to you? I never thought 5 days is a long time. Let me tell you how I had to handle the heat. I have a fireplace, but the fireplace, but the fireplace is wood. It's not gas fireplace. If you have a gas fireplace, I think you can still, unless there's some other difficulty, you can just turn on the gas fireplace. It still works for you. So having been newly arrived and not having everything unpacked, I found my boots and went outside and started to pick up small twigs, anything I could find to put in my fireplace. I had to do that for 5 days to keep the house warm enough. Light, heat. Maybe my friends down in Houston, Texas, you want to consider a fan and a little battery. I know somebody just got a generator down there, but you just never know. Back up, back up, back up. So what happens if we get to be like Spain and have an outage in a large chunk of our country? Our country is so large. I think we have 5 electrical transformer stations for each part. Well, and Texas too has their own. But okay, so 5 parts of our country. So what if one of those went out? And I don't know how many people heard this story, but you probably know that the current administration, when they were last up for 4 years, the oil reserves got filled up. And then the current or the previous administration used up a lot of the strategic oil reserves. And the reason Mr. Biden did that is to make his economic numbers look much better than they actually were. In fact, they were so bad that he had his people change the formula for calculating it out. Yeah. Those of you are saying, no. Yes, the CPI was changed. He took out the massive increases we had in oil and gas, and he took out food inflation. The 2 biggest things that there were, they removed from the CPI. And then they started, it was still getting bad. So then they started to use the PPE calculation to report to the public. And how many people really know? I mean, okay, I'm in finance, so I know all these things. But how many people actually know the difference and the nuances and what's included and what's removed and all this stuff? Not a lot of people. So prepare, organize yourself for the basics. Heat, cold, a little bit of food. Put on your shelves. So many of us today have been used to going out for dinners, going out for lunches, and being able to get food someplace else. Spain, for however many days they were out, they could not access their telephones. They could not access the ATM machines weren't working. The banks weren't open. A lot of the other support that you would need, heat, there's a lot of things that people didn't have access to. And who would ever think a first world country would have had that big of a problem? So we could be in the same predicament at some point in time because there's non-friendly forces that don't like us that would very much love to cause problems. And from what I can see around our Rotary, they're already, and I'm not in a very big population space, and they're still here protesting. So we have very angry people protesting. They do not like their freebies stopped. So this may cause issues. I just want to put it out there for you. Abundance. That one lamp thing handles a lot of potential crisis in the future. So maybe one less dinner out and one more lamp up. Just think about it. And then there's those that won't even think about it. So what about when your next door neighbor comes knocking on your door? You're going to have to figure out what you're going to say and do. Because we may not know how long things will last. Anyhow, okay, I love you tons. This was much longer. I'm just such a blabber. I always blab. I'm so sorry. Love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.